All right, let's talk about one of the weirdest, most fascinating stories in the business world. It's a story that starts with car tires, but ends with fine dining. It's about a brilliant marketing ploy that, almost by accident, created a global empire of taste.
So how on earth did that happen? How did a company that makes rubber tires become the most respected and frankly the most feared food critic on the entire planet? Well, it's a wild story, and it doesn't start in some fancy kitchen. Nope, it starts on the dusty roads of France over 100 years ago with a really simple business problem. So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll look at the paradox itself, go back to the beginning to see how it started, unpack what actually goes into getting a Michelin star, explore whether it's a blessing or a curse, and finally, see where the guide stands today.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's France, right around the year 1900. You've got two brothers, André and Edouard Michelin, and they're in the business of selling car tires. But their biggest headache wasn't their competitors, it was the world itself. There just weren't that many cars, and honestly, not a lot of great reasons to go driving around.
I mean, think about it. There were fewer than 3,000 cars in the entire country. So their problem wasn't just selling new tires. They first had to convince people to wear out the ones they already owned. They had to create a reason for people to get in their cars and just go. And their solution was, frankly, a stroke of marketing genius. In 1900, they created this little guide, and they gave it away for free. It was basically a road tripper's Bible. It had maps, lists of car mechanics, where to find gas, hotels, restaurants, everything. The whole goal was just to encourage road trips. And in the process, they accidentally built this incredible reputation as a super trusted resource for travelers.
Now, for 20 years, this guide was totally free. But then, a chance discovery changed everything. The story goes that André Michelin walked into a tire shop and saw a stack of his precious guides being used to prop up a workbench. And right then, he had this big realization. People just don't value what they don't pay for.
And that one moment was the turning point. In 1920, they started charging for the guide. Soon after, they hired a team of anonymous inspectors. And by 1926, they were awarding the very first Michelin stars. What began as a simple marketing giveaway was fast becoming a serious culinary authority.
Okay, so that's how it started. But how does this legendary system actually work today? It all comes down to a process that is famously secret, revolving around these almost mythical figures, the Michelin inspectors.
People call them the ghosts of the dining room. And these aren't just foodies with a blog. They're full-time, salaried employees. Many of them are former chefs or sommeliers, and their identity is a closely guarded secret. They have to be completely anonymous, and they always pay for their own meal, no freebies. And a star is never, ever awarded based on a single visit. It's a collective decision, made only after multiple inspectors have been.
So what are they looking for? Well, it all boils down to these 5 sacred criteria. And the crazy thing is, whether a restaurant is in Tokyo, Paris, or New York, it's judged on these exact same 5 things. It's about the quality of the ingredients, the skill in cooking, the balance of flavors, the chef's personality on the plate, and, this is the real killer, consistency. You have to be flawless every single time.
And this is where the whole story comes full circle. The star ratings themselves, look at what they mean. 1 star is worth a stop. 2 stars, worth a detour. And the coveted 3 stars, that's worth a special journey. It's pure travel advice, a direct link right back to their original mission, to get you in your car and driving.
Earning a Michelin star can absolutely transform a restaurant's fortune overnight. It's one of the highest honors in the culinary world, period. But, as we're about to see, this incredible power, it comes with a really dark side.
First, let's talk about the good stuff, the money. What does a star actually get you? Well, according to one study in Paris, getting just a single star allows a restaurant to charge about 25% more. Right there, that's the immediate, tangible power of this award.
But here's where it gets really strange. Recent research has uncovered something they call the Michelin curse. It suggests that restaurants that win a star are actually more likely to close down in the following years. So what on earth is going on?
Well, a star can completely upend a restaurant's business model. All of a sudden, your landlord sees an opportunity to hike the rent. Your suppliers know you can pay more, so their prices go up. Your talented staff demand higher wages. And the customers, their expectations just go through the roof. The financial pressure can become totally unsustainable.
And it goes way beyond the finances. There's a huge human cost. The pressure to maintain that level of perfection is just relentless.
The most tragic example is the French chef Bernard Loiseau, who took his own life amid rumors that his restaurant was about to be downgraded from 3 stars. It's a weight so heavy that some chefs have actually tried to give their stars back, just to regain their freedom.
But the immense pressure on individual chefs, that's just one part of a bigger controversy. In today's world, the guide itself is on trial, facing all kinds of criticism that challenges its very authority.
Critics argue that for all its claims of being objective, the guide has this deep-seated bias towards French and European fine dining. More seriously, it's facing accusations of being a relic of colonialism, with a pretty stunning lack of gender and racial diversity among the chefs it honors.
And the data can be pretty shocking. Just look at the 2016 New York City Guide, for example. Of the 77 restaurants that got a star, not a single one was run by a woman head chef. 0. It's stats like this that really fuel those claims of a deep-rooted bias.
And then you have the competition. Michelin's whole top-down, secretive model is now being challenged by a totally new world of democratic, crowdsourced reviews. The single, expert voice of the inspector is now competing with millions of voices on platforms like TripAdvisor, TikTok, and Instagram.
So it started as a clever way to sell tires, became the world's most powerful arbiter of taste. But as the culinary world gets more diverse and the media landscape shatters into a million pieces, the big question remains, can this 125-year-old institution adapt? Or will it just become a relic of the very past it helped create? That's a question worth thinking about.